Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Devlingo here again, and I'll be starting a new video called HTML and CSS Full Crash Course. This is gonna be for beginners who don't know how the HTML and CSS works, but would like to, start writing codes and all of those good stuff. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be dropping new videos every time. So you might ask me, hey, what is HTML? All right. Literally, HTML is just a building block. Okay. It's literally just a building block. So HTML right there is, or sometimes you can say, a foundation. All right. HTML is literally just a building block, or sometimes you can say a foundation, right? So the whole thing that matters is HTML just sets up the website for you. Okay, HTML sets up the website for you, and then you from there, my friend, can do anything you want to do. So basically, this is how HTML is just like. All right, you're just trying to build a website, but you're just trying to write them out. Okay, so you're trying to say when you're building a house, all right, when you're building a house, the way the house looks when you're building it without nothing, all right, the incomplete building, or what they say, the uncompleted building, how it looks, all right, the structure, how this looks is literally just HTML, okay? You can't live, you can't live in a house that has no roofing, that has no painting, that has no functionalities, okay? So this basically is just how HTML is. It's just a raw file, all right? It's just a building block. It's just the first phase for you to become a web dev, okay? Now, when this is done, when you're done with the uncompleted building, you can't move into the house. All right. You'd want to do something called painting. Okay. You want to paint the house, right? You want to add new roof into it. You would want to maybe add some flooring, maybe add some nice color texture and all of those things. So then that is where CSS comes into play. So CSS helps us to style the house, right? CSS helps us to style the house, maybe painted house. Now this is the beauty of CSS. CSS helps us to give the house the painted, the color texture, the design that we want to see, right? CSS helps us to do that. Okay, so CSS does that for us, right? But then when all this is done, all right, let's say you have a fan, but it's not working. You have a light bulb, but it's not turning on and off. Maybe it turns on, but it doesn't turn off. It just stays on there. You have a fan that just rotates every day. Damn, that's a lot of electricity bill, right? Maybe you want to be able to control all of these things, okay? Maybe you want to be able to say, hey, look, I want this fan to only turn on when I click on the switch, when I turn on the switch, when I off the switch, right? And that is where the JavaScript comes into play. So JavaScript gives it the functionality, right? It gives it the functionality. That is where JavaScript comes into play. Okay, so it gives it the functionality. How should how should this website perform? Okay, how should this website how should this website behave? All right. So JavaScript gives it the functionality that it needs. Okay. So the full meaning for HTML is called hypertext markup language. All right. So HTML is just the bare bone, all right, the bare minimum for the website, okay, to function, okay. And then when you're done with that, remember you go to CSS, which also is known as the cascading style shit. All right. So it just gives us the beauty, the style, all right? And then JavaScript, which is known as the king of the web, it gives it the functionality. So this is an high-end overview, right? This is an high-end overview of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So before you start building a house, right, you need a land. So on that land is where you get to build your house. So that land is literally like an environment, right, where you were allowed to build your house. You can't just wake up one morning and then you decide to build your house somewhere else, or you decide to build your house on the ground. You have to build it somewhere. That is where the land comes into play, right? And also that happens to us too. We need to write code somewhere where it is then compiled to the language the computer understands, because the computer that understands all of this, what the computer understands are ones and zeros, okay? Binary operation. That's what the computer understands. And we can start writing code in ones and zeros, man. That's all. This is how it's gonna look like. It's gonna look all buggy and junky, all right? So that's why we have environment where we are allowed to write code, right? And then it gets compiled to the browser's language. Okay. So these text editors are plenty. All right. So when I go online and say text editor, you get a lot of them. Right, we've got a lot of them. So we have the Notepad plus plus, we have the Sublime, we have the Sublime, we we have the Sublime, we have the Visual Studio Code, we have the code block, and all of those things. Okay, you just go online and search for your preference. But I like to use the most popular one because it is eco-friendly, friendly to use and understand, which is Visual Studio Code. And that is where we're coming to. That's where this video is all about, all right? So I'll be showing you how to install Visual Studio Code and take it up from there. So when you go online to your browser, you say Visual Studio Code download, and you get. So I don't know the PC you're using. Maybe it's the Windows or the Mac. Right, if it's the Mac, you just come here and click for Mac, and that's all. It just downloads. Okay, if you Windows like mine, you come here and click Windows. Okay, and then if you're running the Ubuntu, you just come here and click. Right, so I'm using Windows. I'll just go here and download for Windows. Okay, so then you have to wait, and the download should start automatically. All right. And if it doesn't start downloading, we just have to click here, direct download link, and that is it. So this is gonna take a while. All right, let's see. Okay, so this is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna, you know, do what I got to do, come back when it's done, and continue the video from there. All right, welcome back. So I'm guessing your Visual Studio Code already downloaded like mine, right? So all we have to do is go to the folder where it was downloaded. This is it. All right, VS Code setup, and click on it like that, and then we wait. All right, wait for the setup to start, and then we go through the whole thing. So here you want to agree. So I accept and agree. All right, so this is the terms and conditions. If you want to go over them, good, that's fine, but I'm not. So next, so this is the path where it should be installed, right? So it should be installed on my DevLingua app, data local programs on Microsoft Visual Studio Code. All right, that's where it should be installed. If you've got a better part, you just have to click browse and add the better part to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it as the default, and then you need at least 384.4 MB of free space. Okay, so I'm just gonna click next. All right, so set up, we create the program shortcut menu. All right, to continue, click next. All right, so this will create a shortcut menu for you. Okay, so next, and if you don't want that, you just click do not create a start menu folder. I'm just gonna click next. Do you want a desktop icon? So you go click there. All right, do you want open with? All right, so you want to open with Visual Studio Code. So you're gonna click there. You're gonna click that one too. Okay, you want to add the path, make sure this is checked. Okay, so you want to be able to add the path, right, to this on your environment. Okay, so then if you don't want the desktop icon, you can remove that. I'm just gonna keep it for this video sake. So I'm just gonna click on the next. All right. So and install. So I don't know how long this will take, but let's just look at it. All right, and we were done. So finish, and it's gonna start for you real quick. So here we are, guys. This is our environment where we're gonna be writing code. All right. So then the first thing you want to do that it pops up to you is you want to pick a theme. Maybe you are a light theme person. Oh damn, that is good, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it as a default, the dark theme. All right. So I'm just gonna use the dark theme. Right, and then yep, guys, this is it. This is Visual Studio Code where we are gonna be doing all of our writing of codes and then the compiling and all of those things. Okay. Yep. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. Make sure to like and subscribe. Right. Don't forget to follow this series. It's gonna be a fun one, right? I'm just gonna be giving you nice tutorials for HTML and CSS. There is a lot to learn together, guys. So please like, subscribe, and then share, right? And let me know what you think in the comment section below. And also, I've got 100 days of project series which is going on. You can follow along if you're not a newbie. You already have an idea of how the web browser works and all of these things. You could just follow along and create projects with me. It's gonna be a fun one, guys. All right, see you in the next one.